first question is a simple one, Roy. Why have you taken this fight? Why have you accepted this challenge?
Why not? It's Mike Tyson. If you got to think hard about that, something wrong with you. You're not a real fighter. My state of mind is that you're fighting one of the best fighters, heavyweight fighters to ever grace the game. One of the most dangerous punchers to ever grace the game. One of the most exciting people who also, by the way, bit a guy's ear off. So when you go in the ring with him, you better be ready for any and everything.
So you're training like it's a normal 10-round, 8-round, 12-round fight. You're not training that it's a pity-patty exhibition. You're training like it's real. In fact, you're training, Roy, like it's very real.
Of course, I ain't been to training camp up here with Tom and up to Buzzers in like 10 years. So if I do this, I'm for real.
And what about on fight night, Roy? What do you think? The first bell sounds. What's going to happen in the first 30 seconds? What's your gut feeling? You're a man that understands opponents, understands the psychology of boxing. What's going to happen in that first 30 seconds?
You're going to see Kenny pin me against the ropes right away, which is not going to happen, but he's going to try to do that right away. So I got to use my legs to avoid the ropes right away because he's coming straight at me. And he knows his best chances are early. So he's going to come and give it all he got right away to try to get me out.
And you're going to use all of the best of Roy Jones to make sure he doesn't get what he wants in the first few rounds.
Exactly.
And do you get a sense that after 2 or 3 rounds, he might be nearing the end of whatever he's got left, Roy?
I don't really know, but I know what I got in plan. It don't matter.
Is there a part of you, Roy, that would have liked to have been the same weight as Tyson when you were both at your peaks? Is there a part of Roy Jones, the warrior, that would love to have fought Mike Tyson, the warrior, 20-odd years ago?
Yeah, but I wasn't concerned about the weight. But yeah, the warrior me would have loved to fight him 20. I tried to fight him right after I won the heavyweight title when he said he was done with boxing at the time. So yes, the warrior me would have loved to fight him 20 years ago. Yes.
So after you beat Ruiz, and I was at that fight, and I thought it was one of your best performances. It was brilliant. It was flawless. Was there talk after that fight of a Tyson fight?
Yes, we talked about that out in Houston, Texas with Jay Prince, but it never materialized. Tyson said at the time, I think he was through boxing. He didn't have the hunger for the sport no more. And I don't fight a guy that does not want to box. I mean, why would you fight a guy that's not really, or that does not have the hunger for the sport? Then you didn't beat him at his best. So I don't want that. But now when he came back and asked me, would I fight? I wanted to fight 17 years ago, and I want to fight now. So, of course, I would.
I want to ask you, and thanks for your time tonight, Roy. I want to ask you a little bit about the current heavyweight situation. Some of those guys are big guys. Some of those guys have shown some fantastic things, and some of those guys we're waiting to see. What do you think about the current heavyweight situation?
I love the scene right now. They're really talented guys. A lot of different characters on the scene right now. Everybody always ask who you think is the best. Well, really, to be honest with you, it's kind of simple. Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko, who was the best for the longest time. Mm-hmm. You ain't the man until you beat the man. He beat the man, and nobody hasn't beaten him since then. So, in my opinion, Tyson Fury is still the man. A lot of guys, Dylan White, a lot of them, Chisora, Usyk gonna make it interesting. A lot of guys that are in the division are gonna make some really interesting fights. But right now, as of today, Tyson Fury is still the man.
Now, Roy, when you came up to beat John Ruiz, he was a big heavyweight. He was a big enough heavyweight. People forget that. But he wasn't a Tyson Fury big heavyweight. He didn't have all that height and reach and an extra 20 or 30 pounds. Would the Roy Jones of then, would that Roy Jones have moved up to fight a heavyweight like Tyson Fury? Or would you only fight a heavyweight with John Ruiz's dimensions?
Yes, indeed, he would have. And the reason he would have is because if you think about it, I was 199 pounds on the scale. I really was about 199. They had me 200 something on the scale. I really was 199. He was 224 or 226. So
that's right.
He was 20 plus pounds heavier than me. And I still took it. So I would have took anybody that night. I would have fought any heavyweight in the world.
What's your prediction, Roy? What's your prediction?
They say we can't knock him out, but if he try to knock me out, then I got to take him out. If he try to knock me out, he won't finish the fight.
And he is going to try and knock you out. He's not going to try and beat you on points, is he?
Exactly. He try to knock me out, he won't finish the fight.
And let me ask you this final question. If you knock him out, Roy, if you catch him when he's tired and knock him out, do you think that will hurt the Mike Tyson legacy, or will it just add to your legacy?
No, it won't hurt his legacy, and it will add a little bit to mine, but not much. We can't do much to add or hurt our legacies at this point. That's why the fight is still so big at this point. But I mean, I love Mike for who he was for boxing. I'm sure he loves me for that same reason, which is why we get together doing it. But we also know that we both have to have a level of competitiveness in us that's uncanny or unmeasurable to anybody else. You know what I mean? Because we dominated what we dominated at a time when it was very tough to dominate. So I know he got the same thing in him that I have in me.
We're going to see a real fight, aren't we? We're going to see something special.
Of course.
Roy, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much, and thank all your people for setting it up. Thank you very much.
Thank you.